Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now. Go beyond with Smart, the country's fastest and best mobile network. With unlimited 5G data for 12 months. Unlimited text and calls for both mobile and landline. And unlimited Netflix mobile on us. All with Smart Postpaid's powerful SIM-only plan starting at $999. Get it on eSIM online, anytime, anywhere. Switch now and keep your number. Get the power to go beyond, only with Smart Postpaid.
The Pinoy Liga Cup, the big dance, live from Enderun Colleges here in Taguig City. We are at the final game of this full day of hoops. My name is Martin Diaz. I'm accompanied by the charming Justin Almeida. And our final matchup is the Perpetual Help Atlas going head-to-head against the St. Dominic Pikemen. So Justin, mukhang matindi yung matchup natin. What do you think of today's matchup?
Yeah, it seems like an interesting matchup as we have a battle of red and white today and maroon. As for the Perpetual Help Altas, you know, they just finished outside of the top 4 of the NCAA. So they are a squad to contend with, finishing with a 10-8 record in the NCAA. And they are going up against the St. Dominic Pikemen, who actually, you know, are no strangers to the Pinoy Liga Cup. They joined the Next Man Cup Season 2, and one of the highlights of that tournament was they beat the De La Salle Green Archers 71-62.
Oh, so matindi rin yung matchup natin ngayon. But before all of this exciting action, let me pass it over to the venue announcer for the call out of the starters.
Idol Martin.
All right, so getting started here for the final matchup of the day. Starting for the Perpetual Atlas, at the point guard is Montemayor, shooting guard Javier, center Pizarro, small forward Boral, power forward Pagaran, and on the Pikemen's end we have the Kiwag, Sosing, and
Yes, this is the
getting
start.
straight to the action here.
And some players to watch out for Perpetual is this man right here, number 8. That's Pagaran. That's Christian Pagaran. An all-around small forward who can shoot it from the outside and drive it inside as well. And another man would be JP Boral, as he is playing center right now. But is a center that can also stretch the floor, an athletic center. These are players to watch out for on the side of the Perpetual Help Altas.
And ayun na nga, that's what Perpetual has been known for, throughout the history of their playing. Being able to be versatile, physical, and really impose their presence on the defensive end especially.
Yeah, speaking of versatile players, one of the biggest names to come out of this school is, of course, no other than Scotty Thompson, who plays for Ginebra. And his younger brother is actually here in the lineup. And I'm not sure if he's suited up today, but he is part of this Perpetual lineup.
And that's, of course, kumbaga yun na yung GOAT ng Perpetual basketball. So it's gonna be exciting to see younger brother of Scotty Thompson suit up here for the Perpetual Atlas. But Justin, what do you think is gonna be the key here for the Pikemen to get this win against a tough and stacked Perpetual Atlas lineup?
Well, basing on what I see here in their lineup, it's gonna be whoever gets to establish their type of basketball right away. So if the Pikemen can stay aggressive and actually control the pace, and maybe they can get a quick start and establish their brand of basketball.
Tama ka dyan, no? I mean, obviously, for any of these, let's call them third-tier college teams who aren't in the UAAP and NCAA, kailangan, they got to play their brand of basketball. They can't give in. As we see, JP Boral knocking down 2 threes in a row, 8-2 in favor of Perpetual Atlas.
Yeah,
And what do you... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Justin,
sorry. Just because they're not in the, I would say, the top 2 leagues of the collegiate level, it doesn't mean that they're not in a level to compete with these teams. So as we were talking about earlier, no, maraming mga players sa ligang labas that are able to compete with the pro players of our country. And dapat di sila ma-intimidate.
Oh, 100%. And this is the beauty of the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup, the big dance. It's just being able to showcase your talents against these top teams, regardless of what position you're in or what league you're in collegiate basketball.
And dito naman sa side ng Pikemen, no, some big names that we can watch out for is number 9, si Edward Dakiwag. And he is the younger brother of the former player of Blackwater, si Ed Dakiwag, and former Growling Tiger. And Ed Dakiwag is now with the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see if his brother has the same game as his older brother, and let's see what he can bring here for the Pikemen.
And alam mo naman, may power sa pangalan. So Ed Dakiwag gonna have to live up to his brother's legacy here. As we see 8-6 off that fast break layup by St. Dominic with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left in the first quarter.
Ooh!
Chase down block from Boral. Si JP Boral all over this game early on.
That's what I was talking about. JP Boral, an athletic center or forward.
So here comes Sosing to rebound for St. Dominic. There's going to be a foul on the shot and a chance at 2 from the charity stripe for number 99.
That's Russell Binangan.
So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to step up to take the scoring load here for St. Dominic Pikemen. As you mentioned, Justin, a couple of key players to watch out here. See Russell Bunagan short on that second free throw. Here comes Boral at the top of the key. Backdoor, no good. Now Nunez knocks down the mid-range jumper. We've been seeing a heavy dose of mid-range jumpers so far in these past few games, Justin.
And another player we can watch out for St. Dominic is number 55. As during their win against the Green Archers, he almost came up with a triple-double, scoring 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists that game.
Grabe, no? And kita mo naman sa katawan ni Michael Sosing.
Oo, kondisyon na kondisyon.
Kondisyon. Yung shoulders, nagpa-pop out na sa jersey niya.
Oo, siguro pag tinanong mo sa kanya, bro, ano yung linunch mo? Sabihin niya, bakal.
100%. So, Sosing here, another exciting player to watch out for. And of course, big thanks to Justin for all the insightful information about the players. So it's 10-8 with about 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Here comes Perpetual. It's been a turnover here, counter-attack from the Pikemen. Tama. Kapatid nga to ni Dakiwag.
Defense to offense para kay Edward Dakiwag.
Edward Dakiwag showing why basketball runs in the Dakiwag family genes.
Ano kaya nickname niya? Kasi yung kapatid niya na yung Ed eh.
Baka Ward. Of course, jokes all around. But of course, Edward Dakiwag, coming from a full line of just basketball pros.
Mukhang may homework na tayo for Daphne mamaya.
Oh.
Kunin niya yung nickname ni Edward Dakiwag.
As checking in for the first time is number 13 for St. Dominic, Dahao, Aaron Dahao. As well as number 14 for the Perpetual Atlas, John Abbas.
And John Abbas is also a player to watch out for Perpetual. He was part of the Muntinlupa Cagers last MPBL season.
Oh. As we see floater finish there. And yes, John Abbas hoping to bring that experience from the professional scene over to this Perpetual Atlas team. As we see number 33 draw the foul, and just like that, we're gonna get a timeout here from St. Dominic, and we're gonna hear a couple of words from our sponsors. We will be right back.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
A little under 5 minutes left. If you're just tuning in, my name is Martin Diaz. I'm together with Justin Almeida and Daphne Lozano here in the final game of the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup, the Big Dance 2024. To the charity stripe is Axel Manuel for 2 shots. So far, what are you liking from the side of the Perpetual Help Atlas, Justin?
Well, so far they've been aggressive on offense, so getting a lot of turnovers, forcing turnovers rather, and getting some easy baskets inside. And of course, making their free throws is Alex Manuel. So now they have a slim 4-point lead to start this game.
And yes, just like that, 14-10 after the 2 free throws by Manuel. Now here come the pikemen. Saucing over. Saucing for 3. No good. Ares with the rebound. Sabi ni Ares, ako na bahala. Kicks it out to Saucing. Now Dahaw fakes. Over to Dakiwag for 3. That's short.
A little bit short for Dakiwag in that attempt. As Manuel takes the free throw line jumper.
And I love the action between both of these teams. Kita mo yung St. Dominic, obviously one of the teams who are not so known here, pero palaban din sila. As you mentioned, na they got the win over one of the top teams here in the Philippines.
Oh, and there he is, Pagaran, showing us his range from the outside.
Beautiful jumper there from Pagaran. Getting old school yung jump shot niya. Taas ng lift.
Yun talaga yung definition ng jump shot.
Oo. Jump shot talaga. And it's refreshing to see because obviously in our day and age, medyo bumalik na yung set shot, of course, because of shooters like Steph Curry.
Yeah. And like we always say, no, Steph Curry really changed the game.
Oo. Just completely, and it's spread all over way here to the Philippines. As you see, Proel thinks about it, gives it up, gets it back, uses the ball screen, mid-range jumper, that's tough, and he gets it to fall.
A double bump, left-handed jumper.
Sabi ni Proel, depensa, no problem, sabay na ako dyan. So Justin, what are you liking so far from St. Dominic Pikemen? Just 5 points down behind a tough Perpetual team.
Yeah, although they're 5 points down, you can't count out the effort that they're giving. You know, yes, they don't have the lead right now, but like what we were saying earlier, it's the stuff that you can control here in this ball game, and effort is something that, you know, the other team cannot control, and they've been doing that so far really well.
So just like that, we're gonna take a short break here as we have an official review on the Pikemen side. And tama ka dyan, Justin, no? Yung St. Dominic College of Asia, I think the #1 thing that they have is just that willingness to compete. You can see from the way that they play, hindi sila takot.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, they may not be the most well-known team. As you see, this review, it's gonna stay Perpetual ball. You can see determined sila to compete with the top teams here in the big Pinoy Liga Cup.
Yes, and again, the experience that they gain here in Pinoy Liga is something that they can bring to the NCRAA tournaments when they return there after this this short tournament.
Oo. Kumbaga priceless yung experience nila dito diba? As you see a moving screen there on the Perpetual set. It's gonna go Pikemen ball. Here comes St. Dominic crossing the timeline. Now, Proel gives it up to Saucing. Saucing putting on his dancing shoes.
Saucing with the sauce.
With the sauce there. Now Proel, no good on that desperation heave. Here comes the Atlas on the counter-attack.
Bagay na bagay yung pangalan
Oo. Now here comes Manuel. Tries to kick it out. Saucing with the steal, and just like that, let me pass it over to our courtside reporter Daphne Lozano for a quick report.
Head coach Olsen Racela of the Perpetual ALTAS told me earlier that in this game, they're actually worrying more about themselves rather than their opponents. They aim to polish their existing system to know what's either right or wrong for them. He also added that as they join multiple leagues in preparation for the upcoming NCAA season, they wish to use the same refined system. So let's see if this revamped lineup and staying loyal to their way of basketball will lead them to the next round, or will this pose as a threat on their end? That's all for now. Back to you, Martin and Justin.
Thank you so much for Daphne. And tama yung sinabi mo dun. Obviously, this Perpetual is kind of like a revamped team. And it seems like a lot of these collegiate teams participating in the Big Dance, they're using this as an opportunity to refine their system. And although they are looking to refine, it's gonna be also a tough task for them as this St. Dominic team, palaban din to.
Oo. Na they're no stranger to upsets, no? This the Pikemen. But maganda yung sinabi ni Daphne as this team, you know, their head coach Olsen Rosella hasn't been with them for I think half a year yet. So they're still in that process of familiarization with each other. And ang ganda ng diskarte nila na they use a lot of summer leagues for them to get more familiar with how they work as a team.
Tama ka dyan, Dustin. As you see, Ares and Tim Timan a little unaware of the clock there. It's going to be a shot clock violation. But as to your point, Olsen Rosella, obviously a legend in his own right, taking on the head coaching job of the Perpetual Atlas. And kumbaga, yes, they are revamped, but this isn't a rebuild. You know, there are expectations. And if you're head coach Olsen Rosella and the Perpetual Atlas, I think you're in good hands.
Yeah, exactly. Coach Olsen coming from a very successful PBA career with a lot of championships.
We see a monster block there from Mark Cruz.
Yeah.
Pasensya na coach, yung player nyo kasi stop me and Justin in our tracks. But as you were saying, Justin.
As I was saying, Olsen Rosella coming from maybe one of the most successful teams in the PBA with the San Miguel Beermen. And, you know, any experience you get from teams like that and moving it on to your college program, you know, that's a blessing for these kids.
100%. Taking that professional mentality and approach and showcasing it and kind of teaching it to these kids of Perpetual. So a very great addition there for the Perpetual Atlas team. As we see number 21, Nunez, get that easy bucket. And Sepno unable to control the basketball to the frustration of head coach Bong de la Cruz. It's going to be Perpetual 21-14 with 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Some exciting action happening in this final game of hoops.
And also Martin, you know, yung Perpetual, formerly their head coach was Mike Sagigit, diba? And they ran the triangle offense. And I think now they are still running the triangle, but it's like
May konting tweaks
tweaks with it. And they also have their assistant coach now, which is Coach Richard Del Rosario. And he is an assistant coach of the Barangay Ginebra Kings, who is with Tim Cone and also runs the triangle. So, you know,
perfect fit here.
Yeah, they're looking to develop it more and
Kahit
learn
yung
more.
Coaching staff ng Perpetual, pang all-star team na sa PBA. No? As you see, Cruz there with a layup. It's 23-14. 5 seconds left. Let's see what St. Dominic does here. And that's what they do. Roel flex on him. And that's the end of the first quarter. Some exciting action. 23-16 in favor of the Perpetual Help Atlas. And we will be right back.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
And back to the action here. It's the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup, the Big Dance 2024. You are with Martin Diaz and Candy Cutie, Justin Almeida, as well as courtside reporter Daphne Lozano. Of course, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Kickstart Coffee, LGR, Eurotex Foam, Eastern Communications, Smart, Amelie, Hotel Manila. So far, what are your thoughts on this game, Justin?
Actually, my thoughts are yung Candy Cutie, alam mong panahon namin ang kapatid mo yun, ha? Ang galing nun, ha? That was not in your time. But anyway, kidding aside, thoughts on this game, no? Despite Perpetual being up by 7 points, ang ganda rin ang pinapakita ng St. Dominic. You know, they're showing that they do not fear this NCAA squad and that they're ready to face them and give them a battle today to go into the Sweet 16 of this big dance.
And you know, I think this has kind of been a theme in the games that we've covered. You know, we're seeing a lot of these provincial teams, a lot of these teams who don't have a lot of exposure go up against the best of the best. And this is the right mentality that we want to see. Yung palaban lang, laban lang, all the way to the end. And St. Dominic just showcasing that. As you see, 23-16, 9 minutes and 20. Here comes the Atlas. It's going to be a 3-second violation. Jericho Nunez, a little bit of a mental lapse there. We're going to go the other way.
And the best mindset to have if you're the underdog team would be to just come in with a mentality that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Oh, because at this point, just going against these top-tier teams, credit to experience na yan eh.
No.
So imagine getting a win and moving on to the next round. Imagine what confidence booster you can get up into your main leagues.
And technically, for being an underdog, there's no pressure on your part.
Oh,
Laro ka lang.
laro lang. Let your game do the talking. So you see here, counter-attack. Orgo gets fouled by Demanuel. It's gonna be a sideline inbound here. And kita mo rin sa St. Dominic side, you can just feel na napaka-kondisyon yung mga players nila. Bato-bato yung mga katawan eh. So here comes Sevilla. Over to Orgo. Now pinch post action. Ooh, Sevilla with a floater. There's gonna be a traveling call on Sevilla. Feet a little bit too happy there. Pero yung maganda dito kay Boral, kompleto talaga siya sa player eh. No, kahit yung passing nandun eh.
And that's your center. Showing us he can dribble, put it on the floor and attack the basket.
Ala Jokic yung galaw niya eh. Great steal there again from Orgo. Hesitation move.
Ooh.
And I've always just known Perpetual to be this team. Yung wreak havoc on the defensive end and then push pace. Obviously players like Scotty Thompson, Kit Jimenez. And ngayon, now they have new players like Boral, Orgo. Kind of leading the way here for Perpetual.
Yeah, and even Pagaran, who's on the bench right now. Someone who can light it up.
And yung Perpetual, they've proven to develop players who can compete at the highest level. I mean, Scotty Thompson, obviously one of the, safe to say, best players right now in professional basketball in the Philippines.
Yeah, and is one of the players running for the face of the league of the PBA.
100%. And to think si Scotty, parang hindi mo akalain, diba, na he'd become this big of a star.
I'm not sure what number of a pick he was during his time, but diba, he's definitely outperformed their draft stock on him.
Really surpassed expectations,
Yeah,
no?
exactly.
Sprewell short on that three-point jumper. Now here comes Orgo, push and pace, head full of steam, gives it up, gets it back. Another pinch post action. That's going to be a steal. No good. Sevilla A little reckless with the ball there. Here comes the pikemen. Pushing pace. Saucing. Thinks about it. No good on the mid-range jumper.
There we see the scrappiness of St. Dominic on display again.
Kumbaga sa defense, they're playing for each other, no? Hindi lang yung assignment yung iniisip nila. Every chance that they can get to enter the passing lanes, help out on the help side, nandun sila. So, great showcase so far here by the Pikemen. 25-16, a 9-point lead held by the Perpetual Atlas with 7 minutes and 13 seconds left here. Here comes Orgo. Counter-attack. Looks ahead.
Ooh, Orgo.
Getting fancy with it. A little too much loss there. Pagaro with the rebound. Pizarro.
Sevilla giving it to Pizarro.
Marami ding versatile bigs yung Perpetual dito no?
Pizarro bailing them out, almost running out of time on the shot clock.
I love the scrappiness in this ball game shown by both teams.
It's not the most smooth ball game, pero yung grit
Oo. As Pizarro knocks down that first free throw. Ganda rin ng release ni Pizarro.
Dami na talagang big man na na nag-i-improve yung touch from the outside. And just the mechanics of their shooting stroke,
We've really gone away from yung old school type of jump shot. But of course, shout out to the likes of the Leo Austria's over the head jump shot. Shout out po, coach. As you see a daredevil drive there from number 15. Proel can't get it to fall. Esboral gives it up. Sevilla. Pinoy step, no good. And guess who's there? Pizarro on the cleanup job. And just like that, it's 28-16 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds left. Head coach Bong de la Cruz is going to call for time. We will be right back.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
And we are back to the action here. If you're just tuning in, it's the final game of the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup, the Big Dance 2024. You are here with Martin Diaz, Justin Almeida, and courtside reporter Daphne Lozano. It's 28-16 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds left in the first half. Justin, as you mentioned, not the smoothest game so far, but we're seeing some great action. What are you liking so far from this ball game?
Well, yun na nga, we were talking about the grit of this ball game coming from both sides. But siguro just a little more fine-tuning on the execution of the pikemen and maybe converting on those those turnovers that they can cause and maybe get some fast break points. Those would really help cut the lead down.
100% there. As you see another miss there from Proel.
Oh, there's Pizarro again.
Medyo si Pizarro starting to feel himself a little bit there. In and out there on the shot. And I love what you said about St. Dominic. I feel like, yes, they've been playing scrappy, but it would be good for them to settle down a little bit into their offense. Buckle down on defense and get a little bit more fast break looks as they love to play that fast-paced type of game.
Yung ginagawa ni Pizarro ngayon, yung nag-seal down below, that was what we wanted to see from MJ
Ekal.
earlier, no?
Yes. That deep low position.
Oo.
And kita mo kay Pizarro, he's one of those bigs na fundamentally sound talaga eh. Beautiful play there.
And I think that's
St. Dominic.
Alvaran.
Alvaran with a kind of a knockout play there. Getting the short jumper to fall. Here comes Perpetual Atlas. 10-point lead here. Held by Perpetual with a little under 5 minutes left. Now, Justin, on the Perpetual side of things, what do they have to do to sustain this lead? But before that, let me turn it over to Daphne with a quick report.
Thank you so much, Martin. So I had the chance to talk to St. Dominic College of Asia's head coach, Bong de la Cruz, and he shared how this active roster is only 2 months in the making. This is why he only wants 2 things from his boys, maglaro ng maayos at subukang manalo. However, that would not be possible if they are ineffective in terms of their offensive and defensive execution. Coach Bong also added that aside from strengthening the players' chemistry, he is still figuring out his players' rotation. With this, it can be noted that learning is their utmost priority right now. So let's see if this match will be noteworthy for them. Back to you, Martin and Justin.
So thank you for that very insightful report. Wow, Justin, 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
That's
in the making.
crazy. They do not look like a team that's been together for just 2 months. So, as Daphne mentioned, you know, they're also trying to figure things
Yeah.
out for themselves. But just to go back to that question, Justin, what do you think on the Perpetual side of things? What do they have to do to pull out this win?
Well, so far they've been doing a good job. You know, they're also in that familiarization process. But again, the effort that they've been giving, like Pizarro, who just checked in late in this ballgame, is giving so much effort.
Oo.
And ang dami niyang extra points, and he made his presence felt right away when he entered. So just the effort and the, you know, just the smarts
Oo.
that you can bring to the game. These are things that, these small things can make a big difference in the end.
100% there. And kumbaga si Pizarro, siguro 1 notch above Magic Bunot kasi of course rotation player siya. But I mean, instant offense here for Pizarro. As you see Abyss go to the line for 2. And it's again, such a great platform again. And of course, big shout out to the commissioner, Russell Raipon, and Boss Benny and Boss Ruby for creating a platform for these teams to really get ready and gel before their main leagues commence. So it's 29-19 with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left in the second quarter. Here comes the Pikemen, the Kiwag, giving it up.
And also, no, for the side of Perpetual, there's still one player who, like one player who's like one of their main players who are not in the lineup today, and that's Patrick Sleet. You know, one of the players na dala ni Coach Olsen dito sa Perpetual squad from his old FEU team.
Oh, obviously Patrick Sleet, an established player here in the collegiate scene, coming off a great year with FEU and also showcasing his talents on the professional stage in MPPL with the Pasay Voyagers. So definitely going to be an exciting campaign here for Patrick Sleet and the Perpetual Atlas.
And I think Patrick Sleet was one of the top performers for the Pasay Voyagers in this season. Huh?
Oh, Patrick Sleet alongside, of course, mainstays Lawrence Victoria and Axel Inigo.
I think Victoria was your teammate in Rizal.
Yes, he was. So shout out Paul Victoria, of course, having one of his best seasons for the Pasay Voyagers under head coach Keith Marlon Martin. But it's going to be exciting to see Patrick Sleet. And of course, we've gone against Patrick Sleet in Asia Basket, and we know he's got that dog in him, folks. So it's going to be 2 free throws here for Edward the Kiwag, 29-21. Lead down to 7 now with a little over 3 minutes left. Kahit yung tira ni Edward the Kiwag, medyo pareha sa kapatid niya eh, no?
Si Ward. Si Ward.
Ward the Kiwag.
Pasensya na bro, pag mali yung nickname mo, lapit ka lang sa amin dito.
Yeah. And of course, the score now is 29-23 in favor of the Perpetual Help Atlas. We're going to take a quick timeout and a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. And we are back to the action here. Again, if you're just tuning in, it is the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup, the Big Dance 2024. We want to thank everyone who is watching live here in attendance, as well as streaming live on the Pinoy Liga Cup Facebook and YouTube page, watching from all around the world. A 6-point lead held by the Perpetual Help Atlas. I'm Martin Dice together with Justin Almeida and courtside reporter Daphne Lozano. So Justin, a 6-point lead here. The Pikemen applying a half-court press. What can the Pikemen do to continue on this momentum here?
Well, it was a 10-point deficit earlier, so they can just continue what they're doing, apply more pressure on the ball, and see if they can force those turnovers and get easy baskets on the fast break.
Kasi yun talaga yung yung advantage. As you see Sevilla knock down a short range jumper, yun talaga yung advantage or yung playing style ng St. Dominic no? It's again creating that havoc and pushing pace. And to your point, early on in this ballgame, they've been doing a lot of half-court sets. And their 3-point shot hasn't really been falling.
Ayun, like in that possession, almost getting a turnover.
Oh, counter-attack here for the Atlas. Another turnover here. Tim Tiemann with a beautiful dump-off pass last minute. Tim Tiemann getting a little fancy there.
Ganda. Just dropping the rock right before, right after that 1-2 gather.
And that's, again, to your point here, as we see Pizarro says there's a mouse in the house. As he gets that over the left spin to fall. And as you mentioned, Pizarro, just another steady force here for the Perpetual team. And unexpecting that pass from the Kiwag. Another turnover here from St. Dominic. And tama ka, si Pizarro, grabe din yung galaw niya.
Oo. Ano tawag natin dyan? Magic Bunot +1.
Oo, Magic Bunot +1.
Medyo ahead siya nun
Baka kailangan na ata to start. Grabe. So again, the half-court press being applied by the Pikemen.
Ooh. Gets a
Beautiful
floater to
move
go.
there from Alcantara. Getting a little fancy. And just, I was telling Coach Chris, I noticed ngayon sa lahat ng mga player sa collegiate, lahat sila talaga, may Pinoy step na talaga no? Naging staple move na talaga yun in the Philippines and all around the world.
Yeah, and sometimes even in the NBA, na-mention na yung Pinoy step di ba?
And it's such a beautiful thing to see for our country contributing to the basketball world. So it's 37-25, lead up to 12 with under a minute left in favor of Perpetual.
And speaking of the Pinoy step, us Filipinos, pinangalan ng ang Pinoy step, but we have other players who take it to another level.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with si Reggie Tautuan. He plays for I think he played for QC in PSL. Yung
Slow step.
nag-trending na pag 1-2 niya, tumigil siya. Tumalon yung defender, nas nakatira. It went viral, di ba? That's just like a whole nother level of the Pinoy step.
Oh, that's kind of like a slow deceleration Pinoy step. I think I also saw that with Espino of Ateneo.
Ooh, yeah.
So, again, the creativity that Filipinos have has always, I think, been at the forefront. Obviously getting featured by the likes of Filet. Sorry for butchering that, Filet. Pero, the Pinoys have always been at the forefront of creativity, and you just love to see it. As you see, a 3-point shot there, no good. Battle for the rebound. The Pikemen secure it, Saucing. Serving, hands it off to Proel. Proel calls for a pick. The How on the roll. Now to Saucing. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jumper, no good. Here comes Sevilla with a rebound. Flops a little bit.
5 seconds to go. Ooh, and Pangaran gets that to go.
And the doopsie-doo buzzer beater. What a move from Pagaran. And just like that, it is the end of the second quarter. It's 39 to 27. Pagaran getting a little fancy with it. The up and under. Let's take a look here. Justin, break us down.
Yeah, and I was thinking in that possession, I was like, oh, they're being a little too unselfish. Pero just in the nick of time, Pagaran gets that layup to go right before the buzzer, and that gives them a 12-point lead, 39 to 27.
And just like that, we're gonna take a quick break at the half. We'll see you all in a bit.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now. Go beyond with Smart, the country's fastest and best mobile network. With unlimited 5G data for 12 months. Unlimited text and calls for both mobile and landline. And unlimited Netflix mobile on us. All with Smart Postpaid's powerful SIM-only plan starting at $999. Get it on eSIM online, anytime, anywhere. Switch now and keep your number. Get the power to go beyond. Only with Smart Postpaid.
And we are back to the action here. 3 minutes left in our halftime. Some great action being shown by both teams. 39-27, a 12-point lead held by the Perpetual Help Atlas at the half. Justin, can you break down a little bit of these halftime stats for us?
Looking at the halftime stats, most of it are quite similar, as we have the Pikemen just leading in the steals department 5-2, but everything else almost the same. However, the Altas have a 12-point lead here, and I think it's just a matter of execution, as both teams are playing scrappy and with a lot of energy. But, you know, just most of the shots are falling for the Altas.
Yes, and exactly. I think it's exactly that. You know, the St. Dominic Pikemen haven't really been able to connect from deep. Pero kita mo naman sa laban, parang kung hindi mo nakita yung score, baka akalain mo na parang close game lang. It's just been those little three-pointers that Perpetual has been able to make. They haven't been shooting amazing, but they have been able to convert on a couple of threes. So, what do you think the Pikemen have to do here to chip away at this deficit?
And if they're not gonna start shooting from the outside and making it, then they're gonna have to run. Just stay in front of their man, in your face defense, force turnovers, and get those easy baskets to go in transition.
And to your point, Justin, it's a 12-point lead, but it really has looked like a close game. As you can see, the quarter scoring here, 23-16 and 16-11 in favor of Perpetual. Obviously, Perpetual controlling most of this game, but again, it's just been the breaks of the game. So, to your point, we'd like to see the Pikemen get out on the break here a little bit more in the second half. As we're 1 minute out from the start of the second half, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Kickstart Coffee, LGR, Eurotex Foam, Eastern Communications, Smart, and Amelie Hotel Manila.
Yes, and it's definitely a growing family here for the Pinoy Liga. And even not just with our sponsors, but even the teams. You know, we have 30+ teams here in the Big Dance. And, you know, it's great to see this basketball community growing.
And that's what it's all about. You, of course, as well, Justin, building your own little community where you are in Bel Air. And yun naman talaga is the point of basketball, bringing people together. And I do believe that this is the most number of participating teams ever in Pinoy Liga Cup history. So an exciting feat as well for Pinoy Liga Cup and the trajectory of Philippine basketball.
And it's just the vibe, like from the highest ranked team to the lowest. Everyone is gaining something from each other here in the Pinoy Liga Cup.
100%. Kumbaga, and we've spoken about it throughout this whole day, priceless yung experience ng lahat ng mga teams dito, whether they're preparing for the NCAA, UAP, or whatever league they are participating in. So we're getting back to the action here. It's going to be the start of the third quarter, 39-27 in favor of the Perpetual Help Atlas. A whole lot of basketball left to be played. It's going to be perpetual ball.
And I'm sure hindi tayo magkukulang ng aksyon as yun nga, yung brand of basketball na dinadala ng Altas at saka ng mga Pikemen, you know, it's just high octane.
Oo. And so far, they have not disappointed. Grabe yung pressure ng pinakita ng Pikemen. Blitzing, Boral. You see a fast break layup there.
The Pikemen making me look good in my analysis.
Grabe yun. Rinig ka ata, just eh.
Well, katabi nga natin sila, baka nakikinig sila dito.
Grabe yung pressure na pinakita eh, no? And again, it's a testament to head coach Bong de la Cruz. The discipline and the loyalty that the players are showing to their coach is on full display here. Again, 2 months. Kaka-assemble lang nito, grabe.
Yes,
Now here comes Alcantara. Over to Pizarro. Pizarro
ran into a wall.
Oh, traveling violation there. A little bit of an extra step.
Oh, that he bumped into number 99. That's Russell Bunagan. Parang 99 rin yung rating ng strength na eh. Di ba?
Brick wall talaga yung hinarapan ni Pizarro dun eh. Ares dumps it off. And Bunagan gets fouled in the process. It's gonna be 2 shots from the charity stripe for Bunagan. So just a 10-point lead here with 8 minutes and 58 seconds left in the third quarter. Again, we want to give a big shout out to everyone streaming live on Facebook and YouTube on the Pinoy Liga Cup page. We appreciate you. Of course, everyone watching from the different provinces in the Philippines and all around the world. Naging global na rin yung Pinoy Liga Cup eh, no?
Siguro yung mga taong nanonood abroad, nag-aabang sila ng Pinoy step.
Inaabangan nila yung Pinoy step mo, Jus. Here's Saucing. Saucing, starting to get saucy here in the third quarter.
And it's a 4-0 run.
Oh, single-digit deficit na lang for the Pikemen. So, I really think that they're listening to you, Just, because to start this third quarter, they've done exactly what you wanted them to do. Apply pressure and get out on the break.
Okay, let's see if they're listening to me, ah. Kasi sabi mo kanina, inaabangan nila yung Pinoy step ko. Ako, inaabangan ko yung Pinoy food, eh. Baka naririnig tayo ng mga utility sa baba. Padala lang kayo ng pagkain dito. Gutom na kami ni Martin.
So, any Pinoy restaurants out there, baka naman. Gutom kami ni Justin Almeida. So, 39-31 here, a little over 8 minutes left. The Pikemen starting to percolate here in the third quarter under the instructions of analyst Justin Almeida.
Assistant coach.
So Coach Bong, kung naghahanap po kayo, as you see a miss there from Proel. Here comes Alcantara, full head of steam, gets fouled in the process. Made 2 shots for Josh Alcantara.
Seeing he can take his man one-on-one and seeing a mismatch. And no hesitation, going hard to the basket and drawing the foul.
And you know, that's one thing that I noticed on the collegiate level compared to the professional level. When you're in the professional level, there seems to be a lot more matchup hunting. Where in the collegiate level, it's more pace and pressure. So I do want to see, I love seeing it when someone able to recognize a mismatch on the collegiate level tapos ina-atake lang nila.
Of course, it's nice seeing a mix of both. Diba? It's fun to watch high octane basketball, but paired with using brains and exploiting mismatches, it's such a good combination to have.
So Alvaran getting the hoop in the harm there. See, Proel has really been trying to find his outside jumper. Hasn't been able to get it to fall yet, but you appreciate his persistence as we see Alvaran miss on that bonus. Here comes Perpetual. Boral
Boral wide
pulls
open.
up, and that's a block from Proel. What a rejection from Proel. Here comes the pikeman, the Kiwag, the Sosing puts it up. The Kiwag puts it out. No good. Again, the Kiwag. Slows it down.
Grabe rin yung hops eh.
Yung second jump niya, ang bilis. Here comes Sosing. May I have this dance? And just like that, let me turn it over to Daphne Lozan for a quick report.
Coming from their halftime huddle, Coach Bong from the St. Dominic College of Asia reminded his boys to not commit the same mistakes they did during the first half. He gave emphasis to the importance of having sharp decision-making skills and refraining to commit turnovers. We can also see in the early minutes of this quarter that their pressure defense has been effective. But will this be enough for them to cut the lead? Let's see. Back to you, Martin and Justin.
Thank you for that very insightful report. And nakikinig din ata si Daphne sa'yo, Justin. Kasi that's exactly the point that you were trying to make early on in this game and coming into the half was just that amount of energy and pressure that they wanted to create those opportunities on the break.
Yes, and consistent naman kasi yung energy na binibigay nila. But like you said, the outside shots weren't really falling for them in the first half. But just before we sent it over to Daphne, we had Ivan Ares draining that three-pointer, and now the lead is only 5 points.
Just like that, the Pikemen back in this ball game. 6 minutes and change left in the third quarter. 41-36 in favor of Perpetual. So let's see if the Pikemen can get going here. There's going to be a flagrant foul on the floor. See if we can get a replay here on what happened.
It's a flagrant or unsportsmanlike foul. And is it called on Perpetual?
Yes, it was called on Perpetual. Let's double check here to see who it was called on. So it looks like it's on Pizarro. Also his third team foul of the ball game.
And that's going to be crucial, as Pizarro is called for the unsportsmanlike foul, and I think he will earn a seat on the bench for around 3 to 5 minutes.
As Alvaran knocks down the technical free throw. So there's going to be a second shot here for Alvaran. It's going to be 2 shots and ball possession on that flagrant foul call.
So
Alvaran missing the second.
So the coaches of the Pikemen really on top of everything, as they were pleading for that second free throw of the unsportsmanlike foul.
So here comes the Pikemen, saucing over to Proel.
Ooh!
And Proel finally knocks it down.
Timely basket.
And to quote Nico Archaga, that's butter, folks.
That sounds delicious.
So Proel, that must be a sigh of relief as he was searching for that three-point shot. Here comes Domingo. And the Kiwag puts him in the blender. And just like that, it's a change of score. We got 42-41 in favor of St. Dominic. And we will be back after a word. And we are back to the action here as we see head coach Olsen Rosella getting his boys organized after a change in favor. Grabe, kakatingin ko lang, 10 points ngayon. Up by 1 yung Pikemen. Justin, what are you seeing so far?
And it's really just the effort of St. Dominic together with their shots finally falling. We had Proel draining that three-pointer and Arias with a couple of threes as well. And yeah, it's just been clicking for them. And they already have this 1-point lead.
So now a 1-2-2 half-court press applied for the Pikemen. And there's gonna be a moving screen on Sevilla. We also saw that beautiful spin move by Dakiwag. And si Dakiwag, safe to say, Dakiwag talaga to. It's in the blood. Yung galaw niya, he is proven to be a formidable force here as well.
Yeah, maybe their family with those natural athletic abilities.
Oo. May pop talaga yung first step nila eh. Now here comes Proel. Asking for a ball screen. Alvaran sets it. Serving. Kicks it out. Dakiwag.
Ooh, that's the third one today.
The third wedgie of the day. Pangswerte ata yan eh.
Malay mo. That wedgie's pretty bad.
So as we see here, as they sort out that wedgie, we see Edward Dakiwag using the ball screen. As you see here, using that ball screen. This replay brought to you by Kickstart Coffee.
And I don't know if you saw in that previous possession, textbook boxing out by John Abyss. Galing eh. Tapos yung defender pa niya, yung natawagan ng foul.
It's physicality at a high level. As we're seeing these both teams battle it out on the inside. So 42-41 in favor of St. Dominic with under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Here comes Abyss knocking down the first. Justin, mukhang we're in for an exciting matchup in the final game as Abyss knocks down the second.
Don't say it though. Don't say the word.
I don't want to jinx it. With 4 minutes and 53 seconds, it's 43-42 in favor of the Perpetual Help Atlas.
Ooh,
Proel loses it. Here comes Perpetual. It's gonna stay Perpetual ball. Great hands there.
that's Pagaran.
For Pagaran. And isa rin to sa mga players na you wanted to keep an eye on. Pagaran showing his effort on both ends. Tees it up, Pagaran, no good. Long rebound by Perpetual. And that's a beautiful floater from Mark Cruz. Showing the touch there.
And this time it's the Altas showing extra effort
Oo.
on both ends of the floor.
Kinausap mo rin si head coach Olsen, Jazz?
Baka naka-headset din siya.
So, Perpetual. It seems like we're seeing a little bit of a chess match here between head coach Olsen and head coach Bong de la Cruz. Going back and forth, switching up schemes. As Dakiwag shoots 2 free throws from the charity stripe.
And finally, Boral comes back in the game. He checked in earlier for a little bit, but he had a minor error. As we were talking about it, he was open for such a long time. And then finally, when he decided to shoot it, it was too late.
Blinak ni Proel,
Oo.
no? So let's see if Perpetual can gain a little bit of their momentum again here. Cross court to Mark Cruz. Mark Cruz, a little bit of a heat check. Passes it last minute. Manuel with a strong drive gets fouled in the process. So yun nga, yung parang sinabi mo, just when you get downhill and you drive, for these younger players out there, do so 110%. Kasi worst case scenario, you draw the foul.
Yeah.
So Manuel misses the first.
Splits the free throws.
So just what has happened here to Perpetual compared to their strong first half outing?
Well, they were just outplayed by the Pikemen. Aside from their shooting finally falling in, it was, I guess, just more energy. And that's really been the story of this ball game. It's just matching the energy of the opposing team.
I'd love to see Boral get a little bit more involved in the second half. He's been a little bit passive so far. Again, another ill-advised pass there from Boral. As he gets an earful from head coach Olsen.
And sometimes when you hear those, when you're always being corrected by your coaches or your teammates, it kind of gets in your head. And maybe that's why he's being a little hesitant in this game today.
100%, Just. We've all been there in that position. Sometimes when the thoughts start to swirl, it kind of snowballs. But let's see if Boral says, overthinking? I don't think so. Boral gets the hoop in the arm. 48-44, a chance at a three-point play here.
Nag-flex pa eh.
Oh, si JP Boral. Di ako nag-overthink. He knocks down the bonus free throw. JP Boral, the ceiling is high for this kid. He has all the tools to be a great player in the Philippines.
A long, athletic forward.
Great shooting touch.
He's a dog on defense as well.
Definitely.
We saw him go for the block earlier.
Oh.
A chase down block.
The Perpetual bench has to be careful here. Cheering on the officials after that call. And you're right, Just. This has been a battle of energy. And I think Perpetual finally understands that. They have been upping the pressure, and now their lead back up to 5 with 2 minutes and 46 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned their lead going back up to 5, you have to love the composure of the Perpetual Help as they were down by one point, I think. And just keeping, staying composed and bringing this lead back up to 5 despite that big run by the Pikemen.
As Bunagan misses the first. Both teams now in the penalty. Going to be an interesting development as we finish out this third quarter. Second free throw here for Bunagan. And tama ka, Just. Alam mo naman, kung coach mo si Coach Olsen, of course, kailangan talaga compose. Of course, Coach Olsen, one of the most clutch point guards in PBA history. It's going to be a foul here on the Pikemen. It's going to be free throws for number 21, Jericho Nunez. So as we shoot these two free throws for Nunez, Just, do you have anyone that you want to shout out on your end?
Well, just all the Pinoy Liga fans who have tuned in here in the Big Dance. And of course, shout out to my girlfriend Kyla who's at home and my dogs.
Hi Kyla, hi dogs. And of course a shout out as well to my girlfriend Joey who is live here in attendance. And of course to all the fans watching, streaming live. It's 51-44 with 2 minutes and 38 in favor of the Perpetual Atlas. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors. And we are back to the action here. You are with Martin Diaz and Justin Almeida and courtside reporter Daphne Lozano, as well as the amazing Pinoy Liga Cup team. It's 51-44 in favor of the Perpetual Atlas with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third quarter. An exciting matchup here, Just.
And yes, I forgot to shout out the hard-working staff of Pinoy Liga behind the scenes. You know, they've been here since yesterday. Yesterday was also a 5-game series for Saturday. And, you know, medyo umulan pa nga daw. They got home, they left the venue at around 10:30 p.m. And we were here earlier at 7 a.m. for the first game. So, you know, we have to give credit for the hard-working staff behind the scenes.
Most definitely. And the Pinoy Liga Cup staff and family here, extremely friendly, extremely hardworking. So of course, a big shout out to them. Thank you for that, Justin. As you see Manuel slicing and dicing to the rim. And parang nafe-feel mo yung momentum ng Perpetual. Medyo nakakuha na rin nila ulit eh.
Yeah, they got it back instantly.
Oo.
Nagpatikim lang sila ng 1-point lead and then like, okay, let's turn it up.
And again, it's to your point, and you just really hit it on the nose. The defensive energy has really been the catalyst here, as we see number 99, Bunagan, knocking down the turnaround. Here comes the Pikemen, the Kiwag.
Ooh.
Lots of contact, no foul, getting the hard layup, the fall there. 53-48, 5-point lead here for Perpetual with 1 minute and 22 seconds left.
When you were telling me to analyze earlier what they could do better or what they're doing wrong, it's like, it's so hard to pinpoint if they're doing anything wrong. But, yun, it just seems like it's a battle of, like, who wants it more?
Totoo ka dun. I mean, it's just been a dogfight,
Yeah.
to say the least. As you see both benches getting into it. St. Dominic pleading for a flagrant foul, pero parang hindi naman masyadong ill-intent on that play. As you see, if we can get a replay here.
It all depends on your qualifications for a flagrant foul.
So we're taking a look here at Bunagan and number
99.
21 Nunez.
Oh, there it is.
So a little bit of an inadvertent elbow there. What do you think, Just?
Well, it could be here if you take a look again. It could possibly be a flagrant foul as he pulls him by the head. Look at it. Oh, sorry. There was may onting daplis sa ulo. Yeah. Nagparamdam lang ng onte.
Oh. And this is what's great about Pinoy Liga Cup. We are able to review 50-50 calls on out-of-bounds plays and review of technical fouls. So as Justin mentioned, may konting daplis, nothing too crazy. I wouldn't call it a flagrant foul too. See what the officials call it here. Konting getting to know lang amongst the players.
Soiree ba?
Nako, si Justin, sanay na sanay dyan sa mga soiree.
Patay tayo. Panahon na naman natin yun.
What if... Correction, of course, the Perpetual help Altas.
And I think it's just a normal foul.
It's a normal foul there.
Yeah.
Of course, both teams in the penalty. Going to be 2 shots for Bunagan. Bunagan unable to convert on that charity stripe. Here comes the Pikemen. It's going to be another foul here on Bunagan.
And maybe that's something that Perpetual Help can do better. I feel like once they have a decent lead, they start relaxing a bit, and which gives the Pikemen a chance to come back, because earlier they were already up by 9 points, and the lead is now down to 5. So I guess it's more of sustaining the energy for Perpetual Help.
100%. And, you know, obviously for players like Jericho Nunez, nagkakainitan na sila ni Bunagan eh. But if he lets his emotions get the best of him, sila rin yung talo dun in that situation eh. So being able to, again, sustain that level of energy and be able to control your emotions and stay in the moment of the game.
As basketball seems like a physical game, it's really about the mental part. Like, especially in higher levels like this, when everyone is in shape, the thing that sets you apart is the mental game.
I completely agree with that. As you see there again, si Jericho Nunez, maybe letting the emotions get the best of him there, getting called for an offensive foul. So under a minute left, it's 54-48 in favor of the Altas. Corral almost with a steal. It's gonna go the other way, turnover complete. So just a 6-point lead held by the Altas. So you see a platoon swap here, Timtiman coming in.
And Pizarro checking in for Perpetual.
Of course, Pizarro had that great start to the ball game. Let's see if he can do some damage here for Perpetual. No good on a 3-point attempt. Here comes De Manuel. Step through. Pass it up. Valiena kicks it out. Timtiman. No good. Here comes Pizarro with a rebound. And we're seeing things getting a little chippy here. As you could expect, with such a physical game, it was only bound to happen. Of course, the safety of our players is the number one priority here in the Big Dance 2024.
And what I'm liking right now is it's getting more physical, but it's not dirty. And it's just they're just showing how much they want this game.
Most definitely. Nagkakainitan lang.
Uh,
But of course, at the end of the day, we never want anything too violent to happen here in Pinoy Liga Cup. So both teams in the penalty here. And you can see both teams as well capitalizing on that penalty.
I think that's the reason why we had such a long third quarter. Both teams getting in the penalty situation early, around the 3 or 4 minute mark. And we've been shooting free throws left and right.
Also want to take this time to give a shout out to our officials who have also been covering all the games here. Obviously, nagkakainitan minsan and all that, but at the end of the day, they have been doing such a great job calling all these games. So shout out to the referees of Pinoy Liga Cup.
Galing, it's the decision making that these referees have, and we have to comment on that. It's not an easy thing to do.
100%, one of the toughest jobs in the basketball industry.
Nakakatanggap sila ng mura.
Oo. Not just from players and coaches, but from audiences as well. So of course, show some love to
Yeah, exactly.
our fellow referees as Montemayor sinks the first. Montemayor unable to convert on that second. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. The score is 55-48 in favor of the Perpetual Help Altas. We will be right back.
Frustrated na si coach.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more with Smart Powerall. All access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
He had a couple of seasons here.
And we are back to the action here. Final quarter of hoops in this quintuple header of the Big Dance 2024. Again, my name is Martin Diaz,
And I am Justin Almeida.
accompanied by courtside reporter Daphne Lozano. 55-48 in favor of the Perpetual Help Altas. Here comes Pizarro handing it off to Montemayor. Montemayor drives in, kicks it out. Over to Manuel. Manuel, relocate. No good.
Sayang, that was a good fake by Manuel.
Ala Clay Thompson yung ginawa niya doon.
Oo. Sobrang ganda ng fake. Yan yung sinasabi nilang kita yung brief mo eh.
Manuel faking out the whole world of that fake. Here comes Dakiwa getting pressured by Manuel. Crossing the timeline, gives it up. Here comes Roel. Gives it up back to Dakiwag. Dakiwag over to Saucing. Saucing gets saucy. Floater. No good there. Sa mga laban na ganito, it's really who wants it more.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get the win here.
That's really the theme of this ball game.
One of the more intense matchups that we've seen today.
And perfect. It's our main event today.
Oo.
You know?
Here comes Saucing driving. Draws the foul. A little bit of a bailout call there. Saucing had nowhere to go.
Finally, I think Coach Bong De La Cruz was a little happy with that call.
Si Coach Bong medyo umiinit na rin dito with the
Pawis
intensity of the game.
Pawis na rin si Coach Bong.
Now here comes the pikeman, Dakiwag. Back to Saucing, uses the ball screen. Hesitates, step back, jumper. That's way short. Oh! Little bit of a dangerous fall there. Glad to see.
It looked like he was gonna fall down harder.
Parang hinawak din ni Sevilla. So heads up play there from Sevilla.
Sportsmanship at its finest
Oh,
there.
exactly. That's what we want to see here at the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup. The Big Dance 2024. It's gonna
I'm
be a
sure.
baseline inbound.
I'm sure kung di niya hinawakan yun, he could have bumped his head on the floor
Oo.
or something. By the way it looked.
Short again on the jumper for the pikemen. Proel unable to connect. Here comes Manuel. Manuel directing traffic, gives it up to Sevilla. Loses it.
Ooh! Gets it
Pagaran
back.
Gets it back. No good. Pero si Pagaran, scrappy player din talaga to eh,
Oo.
no? Now a little bit of a motion offense here. Proel kicks it out.
Ooh.
No good on the three
Good attempt though.
from Ares. Beautiful shot there from Montemayor, skying up super high for that floater. Soft touch off the glass.
Sayang. The previous play, a series of handoffs in the middle. And they're doing it again.
Same play here. Rejects the ball screen, step back. Parang walang legs yung tira ni Proel ngayon, naubos ata. Puro siya short sa mga jumper.
And you never know, these players baka galing mga ligang labas yan.
And, you know, St. Dominic has been applying the pressure. I'm sure fatigue has been settling in a little bit for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a little fatigue is setting in for the pikemen.
Lead now up to 9 points, 57-48 with 7 minutes and 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now, Justin, obviously you put a lot of emphasis on the energy here. We're going down to the last 7 minutes of the ball game. What do the Pikemen have to do to try and get back in this ball game? As you see another 3 here, lead up to 12.
Well, of course, you know, the game is almost coming to an end. We have 7 minutes left. So the margin of error has to be a lot smaller, or it has to be close to perfect in order for the Pikemen to get nearer and make this a ball game.
Another somewhat of a bailout foul there. And you're completely right there. In these types of ball games, when you're playing catch-up, the margin of error becomes so small. And you can see, especially, and you've experienced it as a player, pag napapagod ka, even your decision-making comes into play. As you mentioned, that mental side of the ball game.
And despite that, like sometimes when you go on a mini run, let's say now it's a 12-point lead. For example, you cut it down to 6 and then you create a turnover. Since ikaw yung naghahabol, it makes it more parang microscopic eh. Parang nagkakaroon ka ng mas nade-deflate yung
moral mo.
Yung moral mo when you make small errors. So you have to control that eh, di ba?
Definitely.
You get the 12-point lead down to 6. You make one small error. Okay lang, next
Okay
play
lang.
mentality lang.
Exactly. And I guess, again, it's a testament to what you said. You've really hit it on the nose throughout this whole game. That mental side, right? Being able to stay composed through the ebbs and flows of the ball game. As you see that technical free throw made, it's 60-49, just an 11-point lead here with a little under 7 minutes. Sideline inbound here for the Pikemen.
If the Pikemen could make a basket here, it would be big for them.
Here comes Timtiman back to Sosing. See what they do here. Ares looking for a teammate. Brings out his do-it-yourself kit and unaware. It's gonna be a shot clock violation there.
Everyone unaware. Even we were caught off guard.
So here comes the Altas. Steal here from the Pikemen. Counter-attack. Timtiman drives, kicks it out. That's another steal. Here comes the Altas. Sidestep, floater, no good. It's gonna say Altas ball.
Off the hands of one of the Pikemen players. And Coach Bong De La Cruz was signaling for a timeout.
So again, some back and forth action happening. You see a jump shot here, no good. Who's there in the middle of it? Of course, JP Boral just getting in the mix.
And that was a perfectly executed inbound play for Pagaran to get open in the corner.
Just couldn't get it to fall there from Pagaran. Exciting din yung lineup ng Perpetual Help Altas.
Oh, and same play, ran for him.
Sevilla, no good, way off. Sosing, pushing pace, head full of steam. Gives it up to Timtiman, slows it down. Now Sosing uses the ball screen. Let's see what they do here to try and get a bucket. It's been a little bit of a drought here for the Pikemen. And to your point, Just, those types of turnovers can't happen for St. Dominic.
And you can just feel their morale deflate every error they make.
Yung frustration medyo nagsisettle in na dito for the Pikemen. Still lots of time here left on the clock. They can still get back in this ball game.
Yeah, 5.5 minutes left in the last quarter.
Now Sevilla probing, gives it up. Here comes Pagaran, loses his dribble. Gives it up. It's gonna go the other way.
Passes it to the cameraman.
And there's so many opportunities here for the Pikemen to get this run going. They have to capitalize. Here comes Timtiman. Uses the ball screen. Gives it up. They're trying to look to Alvaran. Can't find him. Now Sosing. Drives in.
Ooh.
Sosing again, getting saucy with it. Little bit of jelly on the layup.
And a little bit too aggressive there.
They need to be careful. One more foul and they're in the penalty. So this is where that mental game really sets in. Let's see if they can stay out of the penalty and stay out of foul trouble and chip away at the lead. So Justin, who do you want to see? Another dangerous hit there.
Scary landing for Pagaran.
As you see, every time there's a dangerous fall, me and Justin, we end up touching our knees, touching our shoulders. Of course, kami ni Justin, mga season veteran na kami. So of course, yung mga injury nakakaparaning din.
May onting wear and tear na eh.
So 60-51 in favor of the Altas. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
And we are back here at the fourth quarter with less than 5 minutes to go. Still an eternity of basketball as the Pikemen are only down by 9. And we've seen bigger leads go down in an instant. And even in just this ball game as well, at the start of the third quarter, we saw that 12-point lead by the Altas go down, and actually Pikemen getting a 1-point lead. I think the score was 42-41. And I won't be surprised if they can replicate that showing. And we'll see as Pagaran will go to the line now for 2 free throws.
And to your point, Just, it's really just been a game of energy and a game of runs. For St. Dominic, ito na yung final stretch. They're gonna have to dig deep and find a way to get back in this ball game. Kasi yung perpetual, hindi bibigay yan.
They're really getting a solid workout today.
Oo. Sulit na sulit. Both teams, regardless of the result here.
I'm sure nakahanda na yung mga masasarap na dinner nila sa dorms nila eh.
Baka may extra dyan, gudom rin kami dito.
Medyo malayo lang yung perpetual. Nasa Las Piñas pa yan.
But all jokes aside, of course, the Pinoy Liga Cup has been keeping us well fed here. As we get down to the wire, 62-51 in favor of the Altas. Here comes the Pikemen as they turn the ball over. Pagaran, full head of steam. What a move there from Pagaran. Showing the handles and drawing the foul. He's going to have to earn it from the stripe.
He looked like he was out of control, but in control at the same time in that possession.
Actually, that's the perfect way to describe Pagaran. He's a little rough around the edges, but he just plays with so much grit. I'm trying to think of a player that Pagaran reminds me of.
That's something. That's pretty challenging. Let's see. Are we talking
Actually, si
local?
Pagaran, may potential siya with his size, with his length, to be somewhat of like a JC Intal.
Yeah.
Using that length, he's very athletic. If he can develop a consistent outside jumper, he'll be a very dangerous player for NCAA.
That's a good comparison, huh?
Eh, paano kaya si Edward Dakiwag?
I don't think we have to look any further. Si Ward.
Si Ward. Of course. All jokes lang. Edward Dakiwag, you've been playing amazing and we're excited to follow you on your journey, of course. Pagaran knocks down the second. So the Altas pulling away a little bit. 13-point lead here. A lot of basketball to be played. Let's see how the Pikemen respond. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pressure ng Altas.
Oh, Sosing calling that horns play. Ooh. Great effort by number 19. That's Mark Cruz.
It's gonna be tough to run a horns against a 1-2-2 zone. Here comes Sosing. Gives it up. Roel for 3. And Roel's jumper just short on multiple occasions.
Oh, and there he is again.
Alcantara, daredevil drive. Montemayor gets it, kicks it out.
Alcantara, no hesitations, no?
Oh,
Once he feels like he has a mismatch, he's gonna go.
and that's what you love to see. Even Mintis, okay lang as a coach. You love to see that type of aggressiveness. As you see, Tim Timan with the rebound.
Even though you're not calling the plays, if you see that mismatch, you're gonna like that from your player if you're a
Exactly.
coach.
Here comes Sosing, drives, kicks it out. Miscommunication there. It's gonna go the other way. You can feel the desperation in the air coming from St. Dominic.
Oh, getting that ball across the half court right on time.
Here comes Cruz to Alcantara. Boral, touch pass. Back to Boral.
Ooh.
Shows the jumper, no good.
That was great ball movement.
Beautiful ball movement by the Altas. Si Boral, may natural passing ability din talaga siya, no? Let's see what the Pikemen do here. They need a bucket in this possession.
Oh, and Sosing can't get it to drop for them.
I think yun yung next level for Sosing. Ma-develop na yung shooting niya from the outside range.
His first option is he need to attack now.
Oh. Now here comes Alcantara over to Boral for 3. That's gonna be an air ball. $64-51 in favor of the Perpetual Help Altas. Timeout on the floor here for St. Dominic College of Asia. We will be right back. Let's go. Last 2 minutes.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
And we are back to the action here, 64-51. 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Justin, what are your thoughts here? 13-point lead here for the Altas.
Well, the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer, but I'd like to say it's not over in the spirit of good basketball.
Yeah. Miracles can happen. We've seen crazier things happen in the sport. But it's going to be tough if they keep converting on these careless turnovers.
And we forget to give credit to the Altas. As, you know, it's hard to sustain that energy, even especially with you leading.
Tuloy-tuloy lang yung energy and effort nila, no?
They seem to have corrected that instinct of relaxing when they get a big lead.
And again, that's a testament to the coaching of head coach Olsen Rosella, keeping his players in check and in the game.
And what a beautiful time for it to come here in the late stages of the fourth quarter.
So again, if you're just tuning in, we're at the dying minutes of the final game of the Pinoy Liga Cup, the Big Dance 2024, featuring your favorite collegiate teams. Of course, a big shout out to our sponsors, Kickstart Coffee, LGR, Urtex Foam, Eastern Communications, Smart, and Amelie Hotel Manila. We are back to the action here. So baseline inbound. Here comes Pagaran for 3. No good. Cruz setting things up, gives it to Pagaran. Pizarro hands it off to Alcantara.
Oh, tough shot.
Abis, no look pass, and he says slow it down.
Yeah, wise decision. Oh, and that is the nail in the coffin for Christian Pagaran.
Christian Pagaran says, night-night. And si Pagaran has really come alive in this fourth quarter for the Altas.
Pinakita na naman tayo ng jump shot.
Jump shot talaga. Now more of a rare sighting in today's game. But again, the Altas just proving to be a little bit too much here for the Pikemen. But hats off to the St. Dominic Pikemen, putting on such a good outing here under the tutelage of head coach Bong de la Cruz. So it looks like Perpetual is gonna pull away with the win here as we ride out the final seconds, and they'll be moving on to the next round.
Oh, and it is a case of too little, too late, as Didoy Proel gets that left-handed layup to go, and the game will end 67-53.
So the Perpetual Altas coming away with a big win here, 67-53 against the Dominican Pikemen. Again, we want to thank everyone who watched live in attendance, streamed on Facebook and YouTube on the Pinoy Liga Cup page. My name is Martin Daez.
And this is Justin Almeida.
Together with courtside reporter Daphne Lozano. Thank you to everyone who watched. This is the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Big Dance 2024. Again, final score is 67-53.
And this was definitely an entertaining ball game, as it was just constant energy from Perpetual and the Pikemen. But ayun na nga, the Altas just showing that they stayed more disciplined and more they sustained their energy more than the Pikemen, and just controlling the ball game from that mid-third quarter until the end.
Tama ka dyan, grabe din yung laban. The score not so indicative of the intensity of the game. But as you mentioned, Perpetual buckling down in that third quarter and really just applying and sustaining that energy. But of course, hats off talaga sa St. Dominic. Grabe din yung pinakita nila.
They're showing that they're not just any walkover here in the big dance. And siguro we can talk about who are your candidates for player of the game for Perpetual.
So I think off the bat, someone that comes to mind is JP Boral, who had a good start to the game. But I can't deny Christian Pagaran.
I think
ended the game in a strong note. What about for you, Just?
Yeah, I guess Pagaran, he started the game really well. Kinda, medyo nawala siya nung gitna nung game, but the way he finished it was amazing. And he was the one who gave the dagger shot, and he got that lead up to 16 with a minute remaining, and that just sealed it for the Altas. And another option would be who was the big man we were talking about earlier?
Si Pizarro.
Pizarro.
Oo, pwede rin.
Parang,
you see some of the highlights here brought to you by Eurotex Foam. Si Pizarro, traditional big man siya no?
And he was steady all throughout the ball game.
Just providing that steady force, also can shoot it from the outside. And again, this was such a seesaw battle. Obviously, si Proel really trying to get going here for the Pikemen. Pero nung bandang huli, parang fatigue din yung nag-set in para sa kanya
And saucing as well, although wala siyang, hindi siya naka-convert sa labas. Ang ganda ng all-around effort niya.
Oo.
You know,
A lot of exciting players here for the Pikemen as well. Saucing, Proel, you know, players like Edward Dakiwag, of course.
yeah.
So a bright future here for head coach Bong de la Cruz and the Dominican Pikemen.
Of course, we have to give credit to the coaching staff as well for both sides.
Mhm.
And Coach Bong de la Cruz, you know, showing a lot of composure in his side. You know, knows when to use his challenges. Diba?
Matindi din yung chess matchup between both coaches. And of course, head coach Olsen Rosella. Ayun na nga. Kumbaga, we don't want to use the word rebuild. Kumbaga, revamp na lang for this Perpetua Altas. And as you mentioned, they just fell short of that Final Four seed last season. So, is this going to be the season under head coach Olsen Rosella?
Well, who knows? They made some good moves, lost some players, but gained some players as well, and a great coaching staff. So you never know. It's a new season for the Altas. We'll find out if maybe they need more time to familiarize with each other, or maybe they're season ready and finally make it to the top 4 after a long time.
So again, if you're still tuning in, please do watch live on Facebook and YouTube. You can catch the stream. Also, you can catch it live here in Enderun Colleges. We still have a whole lot of hoops left for the Big Dance 2024, so you can catch your favorite collegiate teams. So we're finishing things up here as the coaches of both squads give their final remarks to the teams. I did want to ask you, Justin, some early bold predictions here for the Big Dance 2024. Who is your favorite to win it all?
Ooh, let me check with the standings. How about you? Do you have anyone in mind, like on the top of your head?
The top of my head, of course, we have these really strong NCAA and UAAP teams. I really like this
take a look.
perpetual squad, but I think it could go down to, it honestly could go down to a UAAP team. It could be NU.
So we do have the CSB Blazers ranked at number 3. That could be one of my favorites.
Oh, CSB Blazers. But let me pass it over to Daphne Lozano for the best player of the game interview.
Our last best player of the game, Christian Pagaran from the Perpetual Altas with 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals. Congratulations on winning your game for tonight. So finally, pasok na kayo sa next round. How does it feel?
Sobrang saya kasi nakikita namin yung syempre sa panalo masaya talaga kami doon. Pero di pa kami kontento, tsaka excited kami sa next round.
And syempre, talaga, do not settle for less. Pero ikaw, since yun nga, nakascore ka ng 20 points, what's your motivation to do better in every game?
Wala naman eh. Yun, ginagawa ko lang yung role ko sa team namin eh. Yun. Una-una, inaano ko yung mga teammate ko, nililid ko sila eh. Yun.
Sunod lang talaga sa sistema. Ngayon, meron ka bang gustong batiin at pasalamatan sa mga nanonood ngayon?
Una-una, magsalamat ako sa Panginoon sa panalo na binigay na sa amin. Tsaka binabati ko rin po yung Tamayo family, yung Perpetualites, tsaka yung Perpetual community. Tsaka binabati ko rin yung mga teammates ko dyan, mga coaches ko. Tsaka yung family ko sa Lantapan Bukidnon po.
Thank you so much. Once again, that is our best player of the game. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that great interview, Daphne. And that's it. That is the full day of hoops here from the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup, the Big Dance 2024. The Perpetual Altas snagging the win here against the Dominican Pikemen. Again, thank you all for tuning in. My name is Martin Diaz.
And this is Justin Almeida.
And we will see you again shortly.
Sir, finally.